And it just ends up being a lot of short burst executes, which are not super exciting to watch, at least for me. But here we go. Not Vertigo, luckily.
You love it, really.
Yeah, I mean, secretly, I'm just a massive Vertigo fan.
Luminosity on the T side did start with 2 smokes and 2 Molotovs. One's just been tossed out towards the entrance of B tunnels, or the exit point, depending on your perspective. For Luminosity, it's going to be Steel that is exiting out of this round. Cooper deals with him with a USP headshot.
We'll talk about dragging a rotation over there. Oh, that's Moose.
And that's the bomb out as well, and they don't have any of their smokes or Molotovs left, so he's going to have to keep peeking over and over again. Able to claim the kill into Moose, but that's it. eUnited start convincingly on Dust2 with a win.
Yeah. You get cool strategy though from Luminosity's side. Again, the smoke in towards exit to allow them to get forward positioning to throw down the Molotovs. It does everything it's meant to do. Obviously, you'd like to get a kill there instead of just having Cooper find the opening pretty free. But I think it puts enough pressure on any team in that situation that you have to react to it. And that's what we see as well. So barring Moose finding two shots on the connection, and especially dropping the bomb, that could swing back in Luminosity's favor pretty quickly.
Going to get too hot in there for Henny. Loses a lot of his health for a potential peak.
Also going to be curious to see, well, actually just in general for a lot of teams that play Dust2, whether or not they're going to opt for spawn-based positioning or not. Again, it requires a lot out of your players. You need to know, so many more defensive smokes and setups and timings and all that kind of stuff from any other map where you just have set roles. But given how volatile defending long can be, it might be I guess the most optimal way of playing Dust2 if you can actually make it work for your team. So we'll see if somebody's tried to implement that really into their arsenal. It used to be a much bigger thing back in both 1.6 and CSS. It's kind of fallen out of favor, and Vanity's going to find Steel on Catwalk.
On the periphery of the smoke, going to be his tomb. Henny flashbangs. But it's all going the way of eUnited. 5 players remain. Great news for their economy, considering that the bulk of these kills came from the SMGs.
Yeah, it was 4 out of 5 on either UMP or an MP9. You're happy to see that. And, yeah, probably more so the fact that nobody actually dies. Marky with that early investment into an M4.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, Van, but do we have some history here in the minors? Is Marky the first Mexican player to play in the minor?
He is. He is.
That's cool.
Yeah, the other Mexican players who would be guys like Spider, Secret Agent, and those guys, they were around back in the CDS days. They're still playing, but not at the same level as Marky is. So he's a bit of a pioneer for Mexican Counter-Strike. It's always fun to see more nationalities getting into it. Marky's been playing really, really well as well. He's, for the longest time, been, I guess, one of these pug stars from NA that constantly you've seen that has, high mechanical skill or, being able to frag out, but not necessarily being able to piece it together once he plays in a team. Seems like he's got that covered now, and that's an 8.5.
That has paid the $300 and then some. Cooper could be in for more unless the rest of his team takes him away. And speaking of Marquis, he doubles up with the M4. Yeah. Great start for United. They've only lost 1 player in 3 rounds.
I really enjoy the approach from Cooper there as well. It's so easy to just take that wide angle and just be like, I'm going to get some frags. I'm going to get a couple of easy eco kills, and potentially that ends with you dying and you feel, well, I got 2 or something like that. But I just like the approach just in general, just thinking long-term, right? Playing off of your teammates. He knew that he had a player aggressively in underpass or in lower dark to swing in on it. It becomes so much harder to play against for Luminosity if you're going to go about it that way and not give up or give opportunities for them to find easy trades.
They're holding on to their weapons, though, so they're coming through into this round with a lot of SMGs. Not much firepower.
A pretty heavy stack over towards the A bomb side as well. Taking initial long control, then getting people up on short. Vanity left to his own devices over towards B.
Both their M4s playing on Catwalk. Go for the flash peek, nothing there. Now Luminosity going to fill in the gaps. Nekis taking charge.
Meanwhile, eUnited proactive to begin with. Now just kind of end up in more or less a default setup. Actually with 2 players in slope, which is not as common. See if somebody runs around towards Goose to just play off of slope players attention grabbing. We'll see though. Moose in a forward positioning with the MP9. Hard position, or very easy to position to kind of forget about as you move out as a T side.
Oh yeah.
Steal. Definitely remembers.
Cooper. Oh, that's the bomb.
Ooh.
The bomb now on catwalk while the rest of the T's on long. They don't have a lot of time to play with either. That kill could be everything in this round for eUnited. A round where they barely invested in terms of firepower. They kept their SMGs. 15 seconds to go, still the bomb. Out in no man's land. The smoke is slightly skewed with the Molotov already planted down. Damage being inflicted. Bomb gets dropped again. This time it's down towards CT. Luminosity can't catch a break.
That is a rough one. And they took their sweet time about setting up that catwalk push to retrieve the bomb as well. Oof. That's not what you wanted to see. But again, great reaction from eUnited, though. Again, realizing, okay, we lost control over long. We just immediately need to do something to not get sandwiched completely. Cooper with the quick move over towards catwalk, finds the first frag. And again, as you said, drops the bomb. Job done. But eUnited definitely showing that they've got the CT side on point. At least they have very clear ideas of what they want to do. You know, lose a certain part of the map, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to approach it. This is how we're going to regain control. That's so important on a map like Dust2. Again, nade goes in. Not going to do too much damage to Henny. Marky.
He's feeling it, man.
Yep.
Using the AK against the oncoming terrorists. They picked up 2 from the last round. Interestingly, they didn't go for an AWP. They had loads of money. Bomb dropped again.
Yeah, and again, in a very forward positioning. The bomb roll is not really working out for them. Ooh, Flash not going to do anything. Cooper, false sense of security maybe, and Steel is going to net himself a kill. But quick return again from Moose. Still even, still the advantage for eUnited here. Marky's in a solid position here to do something.
And he's done more than just something, then. He's won this round for his team. Barring a Henny miracle, which won't be coming, eUnited take a 5-0 lead. They had no nades to push on with at the end.
Yeah.
They need better bomb control. They've lost it now 2 rounds in a row, and it's cost them dearly.
Marky off to a really hot start. 171.4 ADR, 8 frags to his name, and we're only getting into round number 6. Just gonna get the replay, as he said. Yeah, just takes the duel with the AK, finds 2. Just very well done. And again, I like the fact that we're not seeing overextension from any of the eUnited players. They never go further than they have to. It's always gotten an advantage, play off of that. We're going to win it out, I guess, in the most by-the-book way you could possibly do it.
Yeah, showing a lot of composure.
Absolutely. Right now, Molotov's being chained in towards Cave. They're going to find Henny as he's separated from the rest of the herd. Phelps up one short. Not going to be able to find immediate connection. So whatever plans Luminosity have had been set on pause for now. And again, it's Vanity doesn't necessarily just run into anything. Doesn't get crazy with how much he's peeking. As I said, that does get taken out by bolts. Still solid setup here on long. Cooper and Moose. Well, try to combat it. Again, it's going to be bolts winning out. Should be a bomb plant, actually, on the side of Luminosity.
It will, but they've not really been able to retrieve any of the guns. Solid headshot delivered by Phelps. Bolt's now stuck on the site. Molotov going to force him back with a flashbang. Down he goes. Food did peek him before his teammate got into position, so you thought there was maybe a way there where the 1v2 Desert Eagle clutch came into play, but instead it's 6-0 to eUnited, who are going from strength to strength. They picked up the AWP as well.
Yep. 8 for Food as well. I think that's the first instance where we've seen some of the eUnited players, I guess, sticking around for a little bit too long. Vanity probably could have dropped down once he's found that second frag on catwalk to get him into an extended lead. In the end, still works out nicely, and eUnited more or less perfect up to this point as we have a tactical pause from Luminosity.
Yeah, understandably going to try and slow this down, take some of that momentum away, figure out what's been going wrong. It's hard to really call exactly what they could change up here, then, because honestly, eUnited have just been that damn good. Like, there haven't really been any obvious issues.
No, just no blatant errors on their side. They're not having weird CT setups that don't really make sense on paper. It's just very solid to start us off, and that's what you like to see. Again, for a team that hasn't necessarily been able to perform as well in an offline environment as what they've done to through qualifiers and that kind of thing online. Very, very good to see. Food. We'll spot one going up towards Cat, and Cooper still gets caught out here. Double up setup not paying off right off the bat. And finally an opening frag for Luminosity.
The first time. Need to convert, though. Need to do something with this. So far, they're stalling up on Catwalk. This could allow a rotation to come into fruition. Moose spots the head, bobbing up and down from Pit.
He's got Vanity with him on the corner as well. Molotov, not going to spread all the way down. It's so hard to actually make Molotovs worthwhile in that pit area. Vanity peeks out, finds Henny.
What they have done here, though, Ben, is they've drawn two of these players away on the long side. This allowed them to catapult their way out of short, and Phelps is dealing the fatal damage to Vanity and Moose. Marky, who was playing on the B side of the map, now making a rotation through Catwalk. There's plenty of nades, too, for Luminosity. Marky's going to go aggressive. He's going to push through the Molotov. Now, Nekis knows exactly what's coming up, just needs to survive. He has Phelps in the pit with the AWP. It's planted for him. It's a bit of an awkward exchange, but it is going to be Marky who comes out ahead. But this is really the nuts position. And Marky was spotted going for that defuse. So Phelps
with the ace.
Can get the ace and the clutch.
Well then, if that's what it's going to take for Luminosity to get rounds on the board, might be a bit of a tall order. As you see the odds coming in from GD.bet. eUnited favored here at 1.5. I think that's understandable as well. I mean, considering what we've seen in the start, too.
Oh, yeah.
And this is Luminosity getting a bit of a freebie. Again, the double up setup doesn't work out. Food does spot people coming over towards Cap, but Cooper's too far forward to avoid the flashes, gets caught out. Spurs everything on him. Phelps being able to spot him as well before the smoke fully blooms, and knowing where the bomb's planted, nets Luminosity there first.
Amazing that Steel actually survived that.
Yeah.
And only lost 27 health. The entries this round certainly going in favor of Luminosity. Marky again going to be called upon to hold the line on B site. But one kill was all he could offer in return. Vanity, just before the smoke begins to plume, going to connect with a second onto Steel. Read the situation perfectly. Moose is still a fair distance away from him, but he's going to decide to push through this smoke. It's going to catch Henny off guard. The bomb has been planted, however, so Nekis doesn't have to worry about wasting some time to go get that down.
Two flashes and an HE on Moose. Probably really would have liked to have smoke instead at this stage. Getting in towards this B-bomb that can be really tricky. So many angles to clear as well.
He does have flashes, though. Nekis starting to wonder if maybe last player's in tunnels. It's coming down to the trade, and the headshot did connect. But it wasn't enough with the M4. Luminosity going to get their second round in a row.
Are starting to fight back here. Still very close rounds, though. Vanity doing a great job there outside of the B entrance to hold off for 2 frags at the very least. Just not enough. Now then, United back to an eco. They're just going to fully stack, actually, on the B-bomb site. Yeah, smoke was there to cover the cross as well. So there's no guarantee of Luminosity understanding how many people are actually over here, but they've taken long control. It makes sense as well. Got the better weaponry. You can go for distance duels. So opting for long is usually, yeah, par for the course. It's what you want to do. Luminosity with this, very likely to net their 3rd round.
Oh yeah, this is already in the bag. You have to feel so much damage inflicted. Lambs to the slaughter. And Luminosity going to put them down. Quite a bit of damage has been inflicted on the reverse, though. 2 or 3 players were limping their way towards it, but Luminosity do get 3 rounds to boot. And yeah, as you say, I mean, if you're going to call that they're on an eco, long definitely makes sense. It's why they threw so many flashes over as well. The only issue you have to contend was if they push up close towards the long doors.
Exactly.
That's where things can get a little bit sketchy.
Oh, it's good to see Luminosity handling that well. Definitely needed a bit of a pick-me-up after going down 6-0. Quite the rough start, especially because eUnited didn't really make any mistakes. I think the first slip-up we saw out of them was maybe Vanity extending or a tiny bit, you know, on Catwalk versus an eco. That's not a big thing. And then it's just the double upset of not working out with the aggressive move that Cooper wanted to do to get an early pick. Which, again, that could just be down to just pure luck, or I guess bad luck if you're on the side of eUnited, right? So eUnited's still playing very well, but important for Luminosity to feel like they have a bit of a bit of a foot in this game. Smoke goes down again.
Pretty much deja vu. It's the same kind of tactic by Luminosity, just pile out long. This time they've done enough to repel any of the counter-terrorists that were setting up shop. They do have M4s this time, though. No kits and a healthy dosage of nades.
Catwalk being the focal point for eUnited here.
Just trying to stall as long as they can. Here comes the flash into peak. They've done this before. Last time no one was home for Luminosity. This time Nekis and Phelps have been swept aside. Excellent start to try and squash this comeback. Another head going to protrude over Catwalk, and Moose is going to take it clean off. It's the MAC-10 of all weapons that is going to break the deadlock for Luminosity in round 10. But that should be all. Henny at least going to put a little bit more damage down and force an extra replenish gun. But eUnited back to winning ways.
Moose winning a duel on Catwalk versus Bolt is so important because his teammate is in a really awkward position where he's not really covering long. He has no idea how close up they can be. And he's also obviously very exposed to Catwalk if Bolts is able to get past Moose. That's pretty much the kill that seals the deal for eUnited. Lessens the 2 pressure points. 7th round back in it again, eUnited. The driving seat. And he's picked up an op here. Haven't seen that too much just yet. No ops on the side of eUnited. They had double ops at one point. Now they've just decided to go completely away from it.
And their flurry of rounds at the start was really off the back of rifles. Nekis, though, with his Desert Eagle, the pocket rocket can land headshots. And quickly, the tides have turned for eUnited in round 11.
So cold. And yeah, excellently played. Doesn't even hold the angle initially because he knows it's such a common place to clear out when you're moving in towards mid as a CT on that kind of a rotation. So holding off the angle, playing simply off of sound, nets himself 2 easy kills and kills any chances of eUnited actually having to retake that bomb site. Very well done. We're seeing it though. We can see why eUnited wants to focus so heavily over towards short early on because Luminosity are definitely putting pressure on there early. We've seen at least 3 openings coming from Catwalk with just straight up aggression, not necessarily off the back of a lot of flashes or anything. We've seen Phelps and Steel both actually just moving up on Cat to see if they can take a duel and take it from there.
Well, Blinken, you'd have missed it there. Cooper did get picked on the cross in the first couple of seconds. Here's an eco for eUnited. Marky, aggression being shown, has to try and roll the dice. Nekis going to come out ahead again. Yeah, as you say, I mean, I think Dust2 often lends itself to that kind of tactic. Anyway, for the terrorists, if you're not going to go Catwalk, you typically split through mid. Yeah. So having control of Catwalk gives the CT so much presence across the map.
And they've used it in multiple different ways as well on the side of Luminosity. So you have the initial one where Phelps, well, and it ends up getting an ace, obviously. But again, you set up for the classic Cat take after picking up the initial kill. But when Steel did it, that led into Phelps pushing aggressively through B halls because you expect the rotation to come in from the CT side so soon.
That is disgusting.
Yeah.
Pure timed shot. Bit fortunate, but you make your own fortune with the AWP on this map. Again, eUnited get a buy, but it is bottom of the barrel stuff. No kits, no nades on Cooper. No incendiaries, which are pretty important on this map, plus HEs.
Absolutely. They were lucky enough to be able to get long control. The thing is that they can't really afford to give it up at any stage right now. Unless they want to refocus over towards short. Yeah, heavy reliance on being able to just win out duels at this stage. No smokes left, just 3 flashes and an HE. Luminosity, I mean, they can understand what kind of situation eUnited find themselves in as well. So they're just going to hang on, make the time, just do the majority of the work, really, see if there's any tingling sensation on the side of eUnited where they want to use their utility early on. Only tingling really here is there's been a rotation leaning over towards that B bomb site, which could be the right call. We've got Neckcase here to drop down into spawn as well from Catwalk. He's going to get found out by Vanity.
Marky only got the 1 kill. They need to rest on food. On the back of the site, flashbang goes in from his teammate. Now Vanity's here too. Both of Luminosity hedging their bets on the B side of the map. Both of them have been tagged so heavily down, and Vanity going to clean them up.
That was really well done. And again, you can see the way Food played for him, well, played the situation there as well, waiting for his teammate to flash in. I think this Vanity throwing over the flash, really solidly done. And all the odds from GD.bet. Not looking that much better for Luminosity here, 2.93 for them to win it. Obviously, eUnited looking a fair bit better, sitting at 8 rounds.
Yeah, and he hasn't quite had the impact that we were looking for, 5 and 9. He hasn't had the AWP a huge amount of times because of the often depleted economy of the terrorists, especially early on in the map. But when he has had the AWP, we've only seen him really land 1 shot through the middle, which was that disgusting shot through smoke, and hasn't really had the turn of events that we were looking for. Maybe that will change, though.
Still early days, and obviously we have a CT side for Luminosity to get through as well. As you said, still time for Henny to showcase his true potential. Now then, again, it's Catwalk, name of the game for Luminosity.
Going to go a bit faster this time as well, Ven. There is a Molotov there to greet them, plus a HE behind it. Molotov being tossed in. Going to drop down. Cooper's been flashed. He can't see anything from the car. There's another one in. His teammate Vanity's gone down. Flicks across to the head of Neckcase, but Luminosity already running amok on the site. They're going to get the plant down.
Very well done. And question is now whether or not they're going to be expecting Phelps to potentially lurk around. There's no reason for Phelps to move at this stage until there's pressure being put on, like so. And there he is. Prize out along. Cooper has no idea what's about to hit him. Henny, a very open position, still going to make work out of it. Marky down. And Food, yeah, knows he's doomed. Shoots blindly into every angle. Luminosity get their 6th. Again, Catwalk being really what their salvation really of this game. Finding so much off of it. And that's even with, I mean, it's not like eUnited have just neglected it completely. It's not like they're leaving it open. We've seen in 2 instances the double peek off of a pop flash. They know that this is something that Luminosity have had an affinity of doing, but still, Brazilians finding openings here. Ooh, Henny needs to be careful. Scout on Marky.
Molotov the wrong side of the door. It does allow bolts to peek through.
That could actually, yeah, that's pretty big if they don't recognize the fact that the Molotov is mislanded.
Which also plays the time as well. You're not expecting him to be peeking that quickly, that close, because they thought the Molotov landed in the doors. So it doesn't have the instant impact, but it does give up long control now for eUnited. They're going to try and make this last round theirs. They're going to have to be bouncing back from a man deficit. Make it 2. Phelps spraying through the smoke, finds Vanity. Marky's just down to 20 HP. He does have an AK-47 by his side. Molotov just behind him. Fortunate not to be picked off from one of those shots coming through the smoke. But finally will be ripped by Steel. And Moose and a FAMAS all that stand for this half. And Henny's going to be able to deal with them. And 8-7, a good comeback from Luminosity.
It really was. I mean, started off 6-0 for eUnited, looking like they were in full control. Didn't really seem like Luminosity had much in it at all. Then one ace from Phelps gets them going. start off with that many rounds is pretty impressive. But we're gonna get on with it. But first, we're gonna have to go for a bit of a break. So we'll join us when we come back in about 1 minute for the second half of the game.
Well, here we go into the second half of our second match of the NA Minor. eUnited, Luminosity 8-7 when you left us at half-time. And now the roles are going to be reversed. Very close game, Ven. You would have to say that eUnited will be ruining their missed opportunities. They were, what, 5 or 6-0 up at one stage?
Yeah. And it took Phelps Ace to get Luminosity on the board. Yeah. So not a whole lot of things were going right for them, but then they found more and more openings towards Catwalk. Just finding ways to deal with the defense of eUnited. Still very much anybody's game at this stage. And of course, keep in mind, with the upset that we saw in the opening round as well, this means that the winner of this game goes on to play INTZ in a best of 3, not Furia, which I guess most people would have expected.
Not going to be holding back though, going straight forward for the jugular through the tunnels of B. Luminosity setting up a roadblock. And only Marquis can penetrate it, but Phelps going to deal with him. A quick fire second pistol goes the way of the Brazilians.
Yeah. And I know it's early days, but it feels like we've seen more out of Phelps already in Luminosity than we did his entire tenure in MIBR. It's just, again, he's coming into a team where he's going to be the one they play around, right? Like he is the best player on that team. He's going to be allowed to be put in a position where he runs the show, or at least the show is catered to him, which is really cool to see. Because obviously, the one reason why he's always been, a hot topic for MIBR in terms of being a replacement for any sort of lineup change they would have made is because he's so damn good. Just hasn't been able to showcase it for quite some time, and I think this is an ideal situation for him to kind of remind everyone why he's so highly talked of. Smoke goes in at the end of it, similar to what we saw Luminosity do. Marquis just seems to throw out a couple of deagle shots, hoping for a connection through the smoke. This can also give them a bit of a forward positioning if they want to make a burst onto the site.
Which it seems they do, then. Yeah. They're going to go for that good old split. Steel's going to be trying to deal with them. There's a slight gap in the smoke. Did see a pixel of a player, but he decides better of going through there. He has confidence in his teammates to hold off B. You have the much superior firepower, which has both been shot down range into Marquis and Vanity. Moose going to wait for this smoke to clear, but Steel
deals with it.
And then some.
Well, Food, you've got a scout, so there's a chance to find a kill, and he's going to find Phelps as well. But quick return from Nekis to keep the losses at a minimum after Phelps goes down. Bit of an interesting decision from eUnited to decide to go for B split when you have 2 scouts on your team. I would have expected to see a little bit more, basically pick-based play. If you could see send a scout up short, send him out on towards long. Just see if you can find anything just to tag people up before you commit to a strat. I think that could have done something for you. Phelps, all right, very aggressive. Gets spotted out by Cooper as well. Now has to back out. Steel being the one to find a frag. These are very aggressive moves from Luminosity.
They have kept both their M4s at least, Ven. I guess is like a silver lining on the cloud, but yeah, that aggression is just...
Yeah.
What do you say?
It seemed not very well thought out. I mean, obviously Phelps assumes that nobody's going to peek down mid, which kind of sets him off on a wrong foot. But then when he joins up with Steel and Lower Dark, I kind of expected them to just hold that fast and basically just try to get control over Upper Dark afterwards. Instead, he bails out. That separates the two. A lot of easy individual picks for eUnited. But Henny bringing them right back into this with 3 frags, and now it's looking like a pretty tough task for Cooper.
Has the HP advantage and time. Yeah, Henny's first kill dropped the bomb towards the top of mid, which put the rest of his team in such an awkward position, Cooper.
Yeah.
But he has now retrieved it, and he's going to the side.
Yeah, and Henny's so low HP that aim punch might not even be a factor at this stage.
That's true. And with Cooper getting the bomb planted, he's now in a position where he may be able to take first contact. If Henny comes through, like, B is such a brutal site to retake. There's so many little angles. You've got different elements of verticality as well when you're coming through the window.
Yeah.
This is so heavily favored for Cooper now. And to make it worse, Henny doesn't have incendiaries. He doesn't have a nade, nothing to actually enter this site with. He's going to have to be coming through this raw. And Cooper surely is going to get the better of him. He's also knows where the bomb's planted. He has guessed correctly, but there's Cooper. Such a hard ask for Henny.
It really is, and yeah, his teammates kind of puts him in that situation too. There's mindless aggression from Luminosity. I'm not really sure what prompts Bolts to run out of cave. That I have a hard time finding a reasoning for that. And he does his damnedest to bring them back into it, but man, that's the kind of ball you don't want to drop if you're Luminosity. You were looking so good, right? You were doing well for yourself. You brought it back from a pretty hefty deficit on the first half. Now you kind of bumble things, even though it was a bit of a well, I guess a bit of a bonus round with all SMGs they had. Still though, you want to get it done as swiftly as possible. Phelps getting them off to a right start though. That's not something you see every day. Phelps opping?
Yeah, I was about to say that, yeah. Henny had the option, maybe based off spawn.
Yeah.
Henny, Phelps had a good B spawn, perhaps. But Henny running with the MP instead.
Now it's clear advantage, really, in terms of utility on the side of eUnited. Pretty stocked up. Again, it's going to be that far forward smoke and exit. Phelps, if he had been like second and a half slower, that would have been so good.
Oh, it's a complete slaughter. Nekis is going to run out of bullets and life. But both of eUnited are heavily tagged in the process. They're going to have control of the bomb. Should be able to get this planted. Maybe cognizant of a grenade coming through.
Oh, solid nade onto Bolts as well.
With a flashbang, he's going to be going into the site. They're going to get these kills. It's so unlikely Cooper can hold the line with an AWP when 3 players are pushing him. But at least they got a bomb plant. At least they can take the economy forward somewhat.
Yeah. No, they managed to salvage that pretty nicely, and being able to do so much damage as they did on the initial B take as well. Nekius in the corner, spraying away. So even though the trades are rather even to start things off, they do manage to hold on to it. Good news for Luminosity to bring it back right after dropping the ball a little bit in that previous one. Still going to be a buy coming in for eUnited with the bomb plant going down. Cooper on that op once more. This time double op set up on the CT side. So Phelps sticking with it, not dropping it off for Henny.
Aggression from Markey. Gonna go through the smoke, catches them completely unaware. He's got 2. Nekis, though, on the other side of the smoke is doing work to the rest of the team. A real odd round, this one, but Luminosity have Steel on the cart. Only 50% of his health remains. There are some nades that could deal with him. There's one of them. It's a Molotov. Steel's going to have to get out of there, and he burns to a crisp. Can't take anyone with him.
Phelps all alone. Set up in the middle with the op. You can't really set yourself up in a position to go for a retake here, and he knows that. It's a rough situation. I have no idea how Markey managed to find the second frag as well, because you can tell once he runs through the smoke, finds the first one rather easily, but he spots one player committing through the smoke as well, and spends majority of his magazine on that player, and then somehow manages to find Bolts by car as he peeks out. I'm not sure if Phelps or if Bolts actually had head armor that round or not. That could have been a pretty big game changer.
Yeah, it's one of those very chaotic, like, ruthless aggression plays that's very hard to have concise comms if you're on the receiving end of it.
Oh, yes.
Like, how do you call, he's pushed the smoke, what the hell, he's in my face, I'm dead. Like, there's so much going on at that point that you kind of, yeah, you feed off that chaos if you're Marquis. So I like the idea. Yeah. And yeah, Phelps just going to hold on. Maybe he could have perched up in CT and try to get some picks on the cross, but you've got to anticipate that there could be a player through mid, and it's such an important gun. You can see their economy for the Brazilians is incredibly low.
I think that's what's keeping on that B-bomb site instead of trying to see if he can find pickoffs, just knowing how much that means to them. Curious to see if he's going to drop it off for Henny in this round or if he's going to stay with it. Again, he has Kevlar as well, so he's not going to have to be bothered by aim punch potentially. But yeah, for this round, definitely need Phelps to see if he can find early picks if you want to have a shot at bringing this back. The updated odds from TD.bet. Still favoring eUnited, understandably so. Luminosity have crept closer. Got to give him that. And again, it's Dust2. Still feels like anybody's game, but Luminosity at this point have to wait around at the very least to get some weapons.
Yeah, they're going to have to be waiting a little bit longer. It seems we do have a tactical timeout that has been implemented. Last time they called one, they did get off to a streak and started the comeback from a 6-0 deficit. Yeah. So let's see if Lightning can strike twice.
Is this just Henny trying to convince Phelps to drop in the op? It's making an argument. You can see, like, if you give me this, I'll guarantee 3 frags.
And Phelps is like, you've got 1 kill this entire map with the AWP, mate. I'm just going to hold on to that one, thanks.
Let me take care of this for now. And good to see Luminosity not investing anything really in particular into this, not falling for that trap. Now Phelps, late with the mid peak, not going to find anything just yet. There we go, opening.
Well, that's definitely against the run of play. I was sure he was dead. I think you were alongside that idea as well. Cooper, can he get Bolts? He plays aggressively. You can understand with these pistols and USPs, but you just got the first pick in the map.
Yeah, if you could set up for a bit of a stack, similar to what they've done in mid, right? Put yourself in a crossfire position, that could do a lot of good for you. Now, though, they've fallen a bit more back on the CT side. Phelps no longer peering aggressively in towards any sort of angles, just holding long from the bomb site. I mean, in a twist of events, this might work pretty nicely for them. We're going to see some movement, though.
Yeah, I was about to say, Vanity going through the lower tunnels. Could see some action. Doesn't finish off the kill and gets very much tagged up in the process. Moose onto Nekis, who is pushing through mid, trying to get some information.
Yeah, and Phelps has moved off of sight at just the wrong moment. Majority of the eUnited players are going to move up towards long. Smoke goes down. Marquis is even going to find a frag onto Henny. This round is done. Vanity, well, doesn't bait out the shot, still wins out the duel. I'm not going to pick the op up for a double upset up here on the T side either. Now, Luminosity definitely had chances. Again, it's unfortunate for them that Phelps decides to rotate out of the long position. It's probably off the back of the fact that neither Steel nor Neck has managed to find frags with their mid push. So it seems like they're setting up for a default, just holding off rotations. Maybe they're expecting more movement towards the B bomb side at that stage.
Be some aggression through long. Flashes over from Cooper. That does skew the Molotov. Again, it doesn't go into the doors. Bolts is able to return fire with his MP9. And now Cooper has been smoked out. So strangely enough, that trade going firmly in favor of Luminosity, but I honestly thought that eUnited may come out ahead on long.
Again, yeah, Molotov, or all the utility that Luminosity throw out, didn't really pan out. Or not as intended, necessarily, but yeah, still nets them a kill. Marquis is going to go down to Henny here as well. Double up setup, seemingly working nicely.
Working a treat in this round. Spray is good. Quite good enough to take down Food through the smoke, but that grenade will oblige. And Luminosity going to get the clean sweep.
Did he get a flash assist on a nade kill?
I didn't see that.
Is that what I saw? That's a bit, okay, that, I mean, obviously.
So he assisted his own nade.
No, yeah, I don't think you can get credit for a flash assist if it's on a nade. Just going to put that out there, but, you know, still early implementation of that feature, so we'll see what can be changed out with it. Nonetheless, though, back to an even score line. Corner smoke goes down. Again, it's food to run out. Bolts not finding the frag this time. This is a lot of damage.
Steel tries to transition the spray through the smoke, but it's going to be too little too late. It's a 2v2 in terms of casualties, but Henny's going to go ahead and put Luminosity in the driver's seat. Bommy's dropped in an awkward position too. He's just ahead of Cooper at the wrong side of the pit. He's going to have to come out into the open if he's going to retrieve it. Still plenty of time left, but eUnited didn't have control over mid, so for all they know, they have pushed up catwalk.
That's a thing. Yeah, that's a funky smoke being thrown down there. I think they wanted to get Henny into a position where he could rotate out of the carpool spot, but it's not going to do anything for him. They know that Cooper was in pit initially, and actually, Vantage is going to go down on the corner. And Cooper, you're in a world of trouble right now.
Not for much longer. Phelps puts that second AWP to use once again. Luminosity regain the lead, and eUnited's economy is now in shambles. It really has been back and forth.
Really has, but now it's finally Luminosity having a bit of a stronghold on this match. CT side economy not yet bolstered up quite, but at least some of the players are starting to build a fair bit to their name. Here we see Henny really holding on to it, making sure eUnited can't establish long control early. The fact that he's able to just stay alive for that long, there's no Molotov available for eUnited to flush him out, so big.
Just a very aggressive round. eUnited going to throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. And so far, nothing. It has been Luminosity staving them off.
Oh, Phelps looking pretty hot with this op so far. He's going to get his 25th kill of the game. And, well, we hinted at it. We said it could be a possibility. When you pick Dust2,
yeah,
there is a chance for individuals to go off and kind of run away with the game on their own. And I feel like that's what Phelps has been doing. Again, keep in mind, he started this Luminosity comeback on his own.
With the ace.
Exactly.
25 kills and 100 ADR, then. Can't argue with that.
Yeah. Doing it with the op as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's even had it over Henny a couple of rounds, which has been interesting. And we saw what Henny can do with the AWP just a couple of rounds ago from Carr.
Yeah.
He's no
slouch.
No slouch with the AWP himself.
I mean, if you can double up on that, then you're in a pretty good spot if you're Luminosity. And right now, it seems like eUnited don't really have too much of an idea as to how they want to combat these double ops outside of just pushing out for long, see if they can win out the initial trade. Bolts turning around the corner, that kind of thing, but hasn't really been working out as of late.
You have to fully commit to it, and it seems like they're doing just that. This time there's no second play there. Phelps instead is residing on catwalk. He's got one already. Does narrowly miss out on the chance to get a second. Molotov's traded. Phelps going to hold his position. Comes back through with a third. Just shy of his 30 bomb now. This is slipping away from eUnited. It's picking up pace. It's rolling down the hill. Phelps on 29 kills.
Well done. If you didn't have one main arbor already in Henny, Phelps is definitely putting in his application for that position. Aggressive push onto catwalk. So the Luminosity giving eUnited different looks at this as well. I mean, Phelps has been pretty much everywhere on the map on the CT side with that thing.
Yeah, true. He's been playing B, up mid, catwalk.
You name it. The tag from Moose onto Nekis is going to do them a little bit of good, but not before Phelps responds with kill onto food.
There's the 30.
Yep. He's just really had a game. And again, this is the kind of player that people expected to come into MIBR. Obviously, couldn't find the same kind of role for himself in that team. But when he's given the opportunity to shine, what a player he can be. And he doesn't want to be left behind the spotlight either. Finds a kill onto Cooper. Phelps just continues on. These double ops have just been unstoppable.
How is that not a kill?
I thought Phelps actually figured he ended the round
Yeah,
there.
he turned. I would have as well. It must have partially been through the wall.
Yeah.
Whatever, he got the kill anyway.
Doesn't matter. In the end, everyone dies to Phelps. Seems to be the name of the game here on the CD side.
Just a casual 32 bomb with 119 ADR. No big deal.
Yeah. Do that every day, and yeah, another timeout coming out from eUnited. I don't really know what they can address at this stage. Again, it's very clearly the double ops that are being an issue.
Yeah.
The spawn timings for Long are not working out for themselves. They can't get the drop on it. Either it's Bolts with such a good spawn that he's going to be pretty close to pit by the time they reach door, or it's going to be Henny already on the corner. And yeah, you can set yourself up with flashes and whatnot. A player like Henny is going to know the angle pre-flashed as well, regardless. So he's going to get a shot in there anyway, so there's still a risk of dying. So where do you go? Do you want to play a default, see if you can set up for cat control, that kind of thing? It's been an issue with, again, Phelps being everywhere. It just seems really, really rough.
Yeah, truly a one-man wrecking crew is Phelps. It's not as if the rest of his team aren't pulling their weight either. The United 6-0 start must seem like years gone by.
Shut down quickly, and ooh, Bolts. Okay, you're getting real aggressive here. Moose might have an inkling, but
this kind of aggression has cost them dearly, though, in the past, Fen, with some of these pushes. So maybe this is a way back in for United. That being said, is he going to expect that Bolts is that close left side?
If Bolts doesn't move pretty much from this position, he's going to have an advantage for every single engagement he takes because of the shadow that gets cast into cave. He's going to be able to just mentally prepare for that duel so far ahead in advance. There's no real reason for him to push forward at this stage as well. Now you've locked down Long with a single player. That's ideal.
Yeah, exactly, and that allows them to bolster up mid and catwalk because they know there's so long. If Bolts dies, there's a good 10, 15 seconds before they can make a move. And this is the dream for Bolts. Playing patiently, hearing the footsteps, close them off on the rotation. Food feels pretty hard done by there. It did look like he penetrated the head. But instead, it won't be a kill. It'll be him falling down for what could be the last time of this map, because Luminosity 4-3 in the lead. Just shy of their 16th round. It's looking great now, and Steel's going to close it out with a triple. Luminosity get it done. It was rough. It was rocky to start, but they just about held on. And then Phelps just took over.
It really was just the Phelps show towards the CT side of things there. And what an opening again to the minors for Luminosity here, a team that's had obviously a very rough patch for quite some time. Again, not at the same level or not at the same stage, I guess, as MIBR. But keep in mind, like, the majority of these players are still the Immortals lineup, right?
Yep.
So you'd expect them to have a lot more success than what they've been showcasing for the better part of the year. This is a great way to start things off. As for eUnited, again, looked pretty solid to start the game off, just dealing with those double ops. Had no answer.
Yeah, and the scary thing is, the desk they're talking about how Phelps would unlock this aggressive kind of side to Luminosity. Well, he was wrecking them with the North. Yeah. He wasn't necessarily playing super aggro. Like, he was just holding it down.
Yeah, he very did that very well. I mean, you can see the couple of times where he actually did go aggressively, it was off the back of set strategy that they had in mind for it. And that's perfectly fine, but yeah, no, Phelps coming into his own. I mean, what a, I guess, offline debut for his new team, just carrying them to victory.
Yeah, it must be one of the favorites now after that performance, especially going against INTZ next. They would have been expecting to go against Fury.
That's not the best of 3 matchup we had foreseen going into this at all. But that's part of the fun of it, right? And again, we started the entire broadcast saying there's so much talent within the Brazilian scene. I guess that's on display in full force as of right now. So, yeah, it's pretty interesting to see what they have brewing.
Okay, well, Smix has an interview lined up for us, so Smix, take it away.
Thank you very much, guys. Congratulations, Steel. What an opening match. First official match with Phelps, and a lot of people had no idea what to expect from you guys, but looking really, really strong.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so happy to play with Phelps again, and as you said, it was a great opening match, and it feels good. It feels good to win the first match in a minor qualifier, so it's awesome.
For sure, and the start of the match didn't start out that way. It was a 6-0 lead for eUnited, and then there was like a flip that switch. Talk about what happened there.
To be honest, we were like super calm in the beginning. They were playing super good, so props to them. But after we paused, we came back to the game and we were just talking with each other, having good calls in the middle of the round, and basically it was that. They were playing super good in the beginning.
What was it like fitting Phelps into this roster? I know that this is, again, your first official match with him, so was it just about putting him where Lucas used to play, or how did you adjust that?
No, actually we changed everything, not only because of Phelps, but because I'm leading now. So Phelps is not playing the same position as Lucas, so we are completely like different team right now.
And what was that like for you, taking the reins of IGLing once again? Like you just said, there's so much to work with right now, so many changes, so where do you even start?
To be honest, I thought it was going to be hard because I'm in my position, like to be the in-game lead is super hard, but I'm super calm. I don't know what is going on, but I'm feeling good. As I said, the team is feeling good. The calls were good, so it's feeling like natural for me, and this is super good.
That's amazing to hear because now you're moving forward and you're going to be playing INTZ, who are also looking really, really strong today. So what are your thoughts there?
It's gonna be hard, of course, because it's super hard to play against Brazilian teams because we watch like every single game from each other. So I think it's gonna be tough, but I think we have a chance for sure. But it's gonna be tough.
Well, sounds great. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. We'll see you in just a bit. Back to you guys at the desk.